News headlines.
Entertainment.
Sports.
It's the front page on the Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
Good morning. It's Monday, March 30th. I'm Alfreda's. Here's what's going on in the news. Remember when President Trump said there would not be any troops on the ground in this war with Iran? Well, now the Washington Post reports the Pentagon did have plans, possible ground operations targeting Iranian oil sites. The U.S. now has more than 50,000 troops in the Middle East, the largest buildup in over 20 years. Iran says it's ready to respond if U.S. forces step in. However, Trump says negotiations are still on the table. When reporters questioned him about troops on the ground, he said there would be none, and he brought up his White House ballroom, saying the war is ahead of schedule, just like his ballroom. Meanwhile, Ukrainian President Zelensky claims Russia is 100% sharing intelligence with Iran and that Moscow may have provided satellite images of a U.S. base in Saudi Arabia just days before a missile strike that injured a dozen American service members. Back here at home, ICE is still at airports. The Department of Homeland Security now has gone 44 days without funding, making this the largest partial shutdown in U.S. history. But they are expected to get back pay today. Meanwhile, lawmakers are out on recess for 2 weeks with no deal in sight, and airports are still seeing long wait lines. Sources say TSA workers continue to call in sick despite Trump ordering DHS to begin issuing paychecks today. For info on these stories and more, go to RickeySmileyMorningShow.com. Now, here's a look at sports.
Rock T, the sports genius, is in the building.
Ladies and gentlemen, March Madness is madness, ladies and man. On the men's side, let's start right there. The number 2 seed UConn stuns number 1 Duke on a Braylon Mullins miracle last-second three-point shot to punch their ticket to the Final Four. UConn, Illinois, Arizona, and Michigan is the Final Four on the men's side. On the women's side, there's 2 more Elite 8 games that's going to happen tonight. South Carolina versus TCU and Texas against Michigan. The winner of those games will punch their tickets to the Final Four on the women's side. So it's bananas. It is what it is. So listen, I need y'all to tune in to my next sports report later on in the show, because the reason why I'm setting this up is because we got 2 brothers going back and forth. They've been going back and forth for a while. You know, Stephen A. Smith and Jason Whitlock.
Oh, boy.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to break some stuff down coming up. So y'all stay tuned for that. It's gonna get pretty intense. And then I got a couple thoughts that I want to throw on top of that, all right? So it's my quick sports report right there. Good morning, Brat. How you doing?
A social media slip-up got Chilli from TLC in hot water. And I got the details up next in the hot spot on the Rickey Smiley Morning Show. The hot spot.
Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot.
So hot and that's hot.
You can catch me at the hot spot.
It's the BR18.
All right, y'all. Rickey Smiley Morning Show at the bottom of the hour. Time for the hot spot. What up, Brat?
What up, Ricky? Good morning, everybody. I'm your girl, Brat Tat Tat, and this is the hot spot where we bring you music, movies, and more. So let's get off into it. Well, y'all, many fans of Rosanda Thomas, a.k.a. Chilli from TLC, were in an uproar after they noticed that she reshared a video claiming that Michelle Obama was not born female and that the former First Lady was once registered to vote as a man in the state of Illinois. It was also noted that Chilli was a MAGA supporter, and well over the weekend, Chilli uploaded a video statement explaining that now deleted video was reshared to her page by accident. And here's a little bit of that statement, y'all. Well, has anybody seen the stuff that Chilli that's been going on with Chilli?
Oh, man.
It was all over the internet yesterday.
It's been all over the internet. If you scroll, that's all you see. I mean, people posting about it. Funky Dineva, listen, you heard what he said. He said something about it. He was just saying that don't try to fix it now because you got this tour coming up and you losing fans. And oh man,
and
then they showed all the donations that she had made to
donations
to
or something
conservatives.
to like.
Shut up. So it's real.
And she's following all these people that are on the MAGA team, and I don't know, child.
I was trying to give her the benefit of the doubt. Then I started looking at how do you retweet something. There's a few steps into retweeting.
Yeah,
And
but
then
she
when
said she pushed a button that was next to a button that she should have.
Okay, but even if
it's a
she
few
did,
things.
Yeah,
it's like a few things. It's not just that one mistake that happened. People are saying They saying it's like she's following all of these people.
Yeah, that part.
And she made these donations.
That.
And you pushed the wrong button, but what about all the other stuff?
Exactly.
Well, my thing is just say you're conservative and stand on it.
Right.
If that's what you are, you have the right to be conservative. If that's what you are.
Well,
I think being conservative isn't the problem as much as being a Trump supporter.
Being
Those
a
are
MAGA is
kind of two
different.
different things.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah,
conservative
I agree.
is just being a Republican. I can respect that. I can't respect somebody who is a Trump supporter.
Yeah, but I just announced a tour for TLC In Vogue and Salt and Pepper.
Now that's messing up their money with all this stuff coming out.
Yeah, this is the kind of
Well,
like
I think
the
people
wrong
still gonna
time
go
for
see
that.
them, but they just
I'm
probably
still
gonna have a hard time when she come on stage.
Oh Lord, I hate that.
I hate that too.
'Cause what's the other one? TLC and what's the
TLC
T-Boss,
Salt and Pepper.
T-Boss might need her money. Hell, she don't need to be messed
I
up.
mean, they still gonna go on the tour.
Yeah, but it's not gonna be right. People gonna boo her. But then maybe she's following her man here. If she's with Joey Lawrence, she probably following her man. So let her be with her man.
He's kind of hardcore right wing, isn't he?
Is he?
I'm just asking. I know one of them boys who was on that show is like hardcore.
Goodness.
Well, her statement says, I want to be clear. I am not a MAGA and do not support any of the many policies that are causing great harm to the American people. I made a mistake too many make. I did not read the fine print. I thought I was supporting causes against human trafficking and for veterans, two things I care deeply about, as my dad is a veteran and everyone knows I love children. I've learned a valuable lesson and ask for grace as I navigate this. Love, Chilli.
Wow.
So,
Well, we just give her grace, give her the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
Whatever. But the internet is not playing.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
bad.
yeah. You know what? We're going to wrap up the hotspot on that note. But for more information on these stories and more, you can go to RickeySmileyMorningShow.com, and you can catch me on all my social media. So Brat. Coming up next, we got Rock T with the joke of the day. Oh, Lord. The time now is 26 minutes before the top of the hour. It's the Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
All right, y'all, Rickey Smiley Morning Show. Hey, happy Monday, everybody. You know what it is. It's always about that time every single Monday for Rock T's Joke of the Day. Let's go. That's good enough for me.
Say, Mike.
That would have been good enough for me.
You know, the other day I bought some new gloves, and both of them were left-handed. Now, on one hand, that's fine. But on the other hand, not so much. Come on, okay.
I get it. Yeah, on one hand, that's fine. On the other hand, not so much because they both left-handed.
Come on, Rick.
Yeah, so you put the left-hand one on the right hand, it didn't work.
Yeah, dog.
Yeah, but it ain't funny, though.
Thank you.
It's not.
It got to at least be funny.
Come on,
Y'all got to let
know
it
what I'm
sink
saying?
in.
You
Let it sink
you
in.
bought some new gloves today, man. Both of them was left-handed. On one
Right.
hand, that's fine. But on the other hand, not so much.
But what is it? Is it the not so much?
No, it's the fact that on the one hand, it's good because it's a left-handed glove. But on the other hand, because you still got a left-handed glove trying to put it on the right hand.
Ricky, the not
I
so
think
much
we
is
all
the
get
answer
it.
to the is the
Yeah.
joke funny. The
Yeah, I
answer,
think we
not so
understand.
much.
Want me to say it again?
No.
Hey, Rock, 20% of the people in the room think it's hilarious.
All right, man. I bought some new gloves the other
No, they
day.
don't.
Both of them was left-handed. On one hand, that's fine. But on the other hand, not so much.
And somebody gonna go to work. Somebody gonna go to work and repeat that damn joke and lose their job today. Never mind. Gary, what you got coming up next?
Coming up next, y'all, it's time to expand your vocabulary with the word of the week. Next on the Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
Capital G, capital A, capital O, capital T.
BICTH.
Job. J-O-B.
ELGSES. Eagle!
It's time for Gary's Word of the Week.
And you know this, man.
All right, party people, it's time to expand your vocabulary with the word of the week. Gary is going to provide you with a new definition and explain how to use the word in a sentence. And Gary, good morning. We're happy to have you this morning. And how will you be expanding our vocabulary this week?
Well, Ricky, this word, it looks familiar. It looks familiar. This week's word looks familiar, but I'm going to pronounce it to my best ability. God.
Breathe.
Jesus. Breathe. Okay, Ricky, this week's word, y'all, is... Can I pronounce it?
I think the buzzard already know you're going to mispronounce it.
Starting off good, though.
Yes. This week's word, y'all, is perfunctorily.
You are so close.
You almost there.
Okay, perfunctorily.
Oh.
Getting further away, brother.
Come on back. Start at where you was the first time you said it.
Perfunctorily.
There you go.
Come on,
That's
now.
it? Oh.
Pause right there.
Perfunctorily.
Oh.
You got
Is that it?
Yeah,
You
that's
got
it.
You got it.
Yes, honey. It's
What a practice
perfunctorily.
right music. Gary. Gary.
Yes.
There it is.
Yes, perfunctorily. Now, it's an adverb, and it's pronounced perfunctorily.
And the definition?
The definition is when one carries out an activity quickly with a minimum of effort, care, or reflection. Let me do that again. But I need to internalize it. When one carries out an activity quickly with a minimum of effort, care, or reflection.
Yes, sir.
That's good.
Yeah, and I'm going to give you an example in a sentence. When I do my tea every morning, it's done perfunctorily perfunctorily. Oh, damn. When I do my tea every morning, it's done perfunctorily and with little regard, unlike Special K's Man Law's book, which required lots of research, time, and intelligent creativity.
Well, thank you, Gary. Appreciate that.
Gary, that's good. You did good today.
It's really good.
Not bad.
I
That
had
mean
a
it
little
might.
tongue twister.
Yeah, that's okay. It's gonna be a good week. So
Yes, it
everybody,
is.
y'all heard it right here. The word of the week is what's the word again, Gary? I supposed to read it.
Perfunctorily.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Now let's see if you can add that to a conversation this week. Appreciate that, Gary.
Is here.
My grandmama would have sworn up and down that Negro preached. My grandmama would have loved, my grandma used to love stuff like that. Oh, he got down now.
Hold it! He's half man, half woman. It's Gary. I wanna hip you to the teeth. It's Gary, baby.
All right, it's 5 minutes after the hour. Gary has the tea and the clue of the day. Gary.
Good morning, Ricky. Good morning, America. Good morning to you. It's Monday, a beautiful, beautiful day in the neighborhood. And here's what's happening in celebrity news, y'all. Money Long. I love Money Long. Well, y'all, she is opening up, y'all, about a major disruption in her personal and her professional life. And she says, honey, it's all started, y'all, with a breakup, y'all, which is so touching. Now, the singer revealed, y'all, that her ex allegedly, y'all, cut off her phone service, honey, when their relationship ended, leaving her, y'all, disconnected from contacts for an extended period. Now, according to Money Long, honey, the situation impacted her business, costing her so many relationships and opportunities. Now she says that things are finally back on track. In a post she shared online, Money Long announced, y'all, that she has regained access to her original phone number, celebrating a moment, y'all, with Lord, I can't get the word, an enthusiastic, y'all, message to her followers. She also took time, y'all, to address those who, may have felt ignored during her absence. How can a man disconnect your phone? If that's your phone, and your ex, how could he do something like that to this woman? I think women let men have too much control over them. I think it's probably with a little jealousy thing, honey, and he would try to get it back out.
No, using the phone being a woman's name, no, she want to go down there and get all them phones together because men just don't have time to stand up in T-Mobile all day.
Well, he must have called him or something, though. But hell, she the one with the doggone money. So, I mean, I would think anyway. So
He don't have no money?
Well, I'm sure he probably don't usually don't have married. These kind of women don't usually get men with money. They get these guys, honey, that they liked and whatever and stuff. And then, honey, he start feeling a certain kind of way and probably had a phone turned off because, honey, he just didn't want to make money.
Big swole Arnold Schwarzenegger dude working back there at Burger King with no shirt on. That's how she got him.
Yeah, I mean, and tell the truth, though, Alfred, because, we know each other. Didn't your man turn off your phone once? Did you ever got to turn off your phone?
Only if they're paying for it and we break up, then I get it. It's happened a time or two.
I know.
Garrett, can we keep personal stuff personal?
Not mine. But anyway, moving on in other celebrity news, y'all. Shaka Khan, honey, is speaking out, baby. This girl's letting the girls know about these new singers, honey, and how they tramping and looking. Y'all, here's what Miss Shaka Khan has to say.
The game has changed. Because all bets are off. These women are doing any and every damn thing on stage and trying to sing too. And the ones who are doing the most physicalities with their butts and stuff and their body parts are the ones that usually are compensating for what they don't have.
Miss Shaka Khan said that, baby. She said these girls are not performing, honey. They're just up there shaking their butts, honey, going on stage half naked and not even singing. And I believe that because, I mean, the singers back in Shaka Khan Day were really singing. Those girls sang, they had instruments and everything. Not a girl just coming up there half naked and stuff and what have you. And it's just not a good look. That's why I don't hardly go.
Well, the most of the ones that are doing the singing, they ain't half naked. She might be talking about some of the new female rappers, but the girls that actually singing, the Mary J. Blige, the Fantasias, they singing, they ain't naked.
Well, them, and they the ones probably the decent ones or what have you, and they probably grew up right. So, Brad, in your days, did y'all go half naked or stuff, or did y'all wear clothes or what have you?
What?
Because Shaka said the women today, honey, are not, they just going up there half naked. She said they're not singing.
I wore clothes. I can only speak for myself.
That's what I'm saying. So you see, so in your era, they wore clothes. Now they're not wearing clothes. That's why I don't really go to these concerts, because I don't want to see you half naked.
She said singers, right?
Yeah. And singers,
so
rappers.
What singers don't wear a lot of clothes, Gary?
Half of them.
Well, that's what she told me.
Yep, she sure did, Brad.
But you know what? Beyonce performs in some kind of,
She get a little scantily.
Yeah, and she can sing.
Oh, but she can sing, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, she can sing, so she deserved it. But
she's not pitchy.
Yeah.
Yeah, she ain't overcompensating for nothing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, bless her spirit. All right, and then my quick for free story, y'all. We all know, y'all, that Tyler Perry the other day went to, was trying to help the TSA employees out because they haven't got checks in months, almost in weeks. So he decided to give out $250,000 in gift cards because you can't get federal employees cash. Well, now it's being reported out there saying that these people may have to give the money back. Because, they said they got to give it back, baby. They can't take that money. But then there's a priest, y'all, who decided to give some money out as well. And here's what he had to say. After we done went through all that.
Oh, no. What the priest said, though?
I've got you all $5,000 worth of gift cards. My whole philosophy was, here are people who show up for us without getting paid. So why don't we show up and show kindness and mercy?
Absolutely. That's your church.
Yep, and they didn't say nothing about him having to give his the ones that he gave out back, but they were saying Tyler Perry and they got to give them back, honey. So that's $250,000 in gift cards or whatever. But if it was me, I would say I didn't get one because you can't prove it that I got one. So I don't guess, but nevertheless, we're gonna keep them lifted in prayer, and hopefully in prayer that these people get paid because they're saying that they're supposed to maybe get a check this week. So I don't know, but anyway, did y'all imagine working in radio and not getting a check?
Oh, honey.
Yeah.
I mean, we did. I mean, I interned and didn't get a check for like a year.
Me too.
So.
Me too.
Yeah, me too.
Did come in the show and didn't get paid.
Mm-hmm.
So we know what it's like then. So we're very empathetic toward these people because, things like this happen, but we just got to keep lifted in prayer, and hopefully that they could keep their checks and their gift cards that Tyler Perry get. Hopefully somebody change their mind and let them keep their money because they need their money for gas and food. All right, the color today is one of my favorite colors. My color today is acacia. On the high end, you say acacia, and on the low end, you say beautiful gold. That's your color.
Acacia. Y'all give it up and carry with the team.
The Rickey Smiley Morning
Rickey Smiley Morning Show. I got the wake up call. Get in at 8669-RICKEY. Here we go.
Wake up, wake up. It's time to get yourself together.
Get it together.
You up this morning, lead you in your house shoes, so it be better. Wake up, wake up. Encourage each other and be productive.
Come on.
The Rickey Smiley Morning Show. Wanna know where you calling from? So come on and tell us and just wake up.
My name is Alicia, and I'm calling from Toledo, Ohio, and I just want to say my family, good morning. Wake up, wake up, wake up.
This is Deirdre from Indianapolis, calling my Korean family to wake up, wake up, wake up. I love you. Good morning. My name is Crystal, and I'm calling from Statesville. I'm calling to wake my grandson and my daughter Chandler and Ahmad up. Wake up, wake up, wake up.
Oh, wake up message. Good morning, good morning. This is Sean from St. Pete, waking up my grandbabies, my daughter, and tell Gary to stop being so messy.
All right.
Let them know where you in Norfolk. Wake up, wake up. Birmingham, wake up.
Let's go.
Oklahoma, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. St. Louisville, wake up. New Orleans, wake up. Memphis, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up.
I appreciate it, Brad.
You're welcome, Ricky.
All right, Jeff Johnson got 3 things you need to know. We got that coming up next. You don't want to miss it. Rickey Smiley Morning Show. Oh, man, Rickey Smiley Morning Show. Hey, happy Monday, everybody. Y'all, we so happy to have Jeff Johnson on this morning. What up, Jeff?
What up, brother, man? I'm glad to be on this morning.
Yes, sir.
Listen, I'm curious what y'all think about this whole Chilli thing and Trump. And hear me for a second, because I'm not really talking just about Chilli. I think what's interesting to me is that I remember Rick being on the set of Rap City, man. And I'm talking about back in 2004.
Right.
And I remember 2004. I remember 2008, even with Obama. I remember different celebrities saying to me, Jeff, you know I'm a Republican, right? You know how much money I make? And it always has been interesting to me that people think just because you like somebody's music or because somebody is connecting through the black community, that means that they are a Democrat. And I get it. Like, I get what this means. And I've always been leery of folks who support certain candidates that don't operate in the best interest of our community. But I also realize, man, people are operating in their best self-interest. And I just wish we would be more honest about it.
She said that to you?
Who said that to me?
Chilli. Told you.
I didn't say Chilli said that.
Oh, no.
Rumors on the show.
I was just clarifying.
No, I said I've heard artists for years.
Absolutely.
Say to me that you know how much money I make, and whether they were ignorant with it because they think that just because they make a lot of money that means they have to support Republicans, which is not the truth. That Republicans want to take, the Republicans will let you keep more of your money, and Democrats want to take your money, which is unsophisticated and thinking about things through that lens with a political party. But it's been going on for a long time, and I think I just wish people would be honest about either don't talk about politics at all or be honest about it. But we are fooling ourselves if we think everybody that we love has the same political affiliation that we do. And so Chilli is not the only one. How she's handling this is awful. And I wish that she would handle this better because I actually like Chilli. I've only known her to support projects that support the community. I think I was more surprised about how she handled this than I was that she did it. And so I just think that we gotta be real clear that everybody we like does not support our politics. And for those that are in this business, be straight up about who you are. Don't talk about politics at all, or be careful about what you repost. Because we're just in a place where I think there was a time before Trump, Rick, that this stuff could happen and it wasn't as dire.
Right.
With Trump, I just don't know how you can support him and say that you support communities of color. I just don't know how that happens because he's been so deliberate in his hateful speech and so deliberate in his anti-people of color policy that I just don't know how you can toe the line with that. And I think that's the troubling thing for me as we talk about this, brother.
Yeah, I think you can be, I think back in the day you could be two things. You could be Republican, and care maybe about the community possibly. And let me just preface this by saying I'm not Republican, but I think Republican used to mean smaller government spending. It used to mean inflation control. It used to mean energy, independence. That's not what Republican is anymore. It's Trump. If you are a Republican now, you're a Trumper, and that's that.
I agree. And that's why this is that's why I think this is where we are right now. You just don't have that luxury, because even though there are conservatives that don't support Trump, they don't control the party.
Right.
And so, if we're honest, most black folks over a certain age, especially from the South and the Midwest, were not Democrats.
Right.
They were conservatives. Yeah. They were fiscal conservatives. They were church-going social conservatives. But and those conservatives still exist, but that's not who runs the GOP.
Right.
MAGA now runs the GOP.
Remember, they used to be the party of morality. Can you imagine with a president like Trump? Are they? I'm going to put that in air quotes. They were the, air quotes, the party of morality.
So they don't care anymore. They don't care, and then the sad part about it is they're not speaking out against wrongdoing. I heard one pastor speak out and was talking about that was visibly upset when Trump put it out there. Retweeted that Barack and Michelle Obama as monkeys, and it was a conservative Republican pastor spoke out that he don't like the name calling. But I don't see the majority of those white pastors in those white mega churches speaking out against what's wrong, but they all jumped on Obama for wearing a tan suit. It's crazy.
Right.
Yeah, it's nuts. And it's we're at this place where I think a lot of people who talked about during the last election that, they were willing to sit it out. It didn't matter. I think, I don't believe in beating anybody up for those kind of choices, but I think anybody who thought that has to be clear that that's not the case anymore. And Trump has made sure by how he's handled even his own folks that he's at war. He's at war with everybody. And the question now is, do you want to support not just now Trump, but an entire way of governing that's about being at war with everybody that you can be at war with? Or do you want to explore other options? And my hope is that this midterm will show that there are a lot of Americans that sat things out. There are a lot of Americans that just weren't sure. And there were a lot of Americans that were like, I don't trust any of them, so I'm not going to support any of them. And hopefully there's a thing where, listen, let me make a choice that's in the best interest of my family, of my community, of my country, even if you want to go that far, because sitting out is not an option ever again, because we see what happens when we do that, y'all. So please, y'all, hit me at Jeff's Nation. Let me know what your thoughts are, whether it's about Chilli and these entertainers, or more importantly, about how we engage as we continue to move forward with voting just being one of many weapons that we choose to make our communities better.
All right, y'all, more Rickey Smiley Morning Show coming up. Oh, chicken about me going down with y'all lying on the one. What up, y'all?
I'm good, man. Yo, just got big up everybody, man. I turn up with me in the club, them, over the weekend. And, of course, they hit me up on the gram at JAH Lion Sound.
JAH Lion Sound. Appreciate you, big dog.
My pleasure, man.
Black Tony, why would you start a Monday off like
hello. So what, son?
Why would you start a Monday off like this?
Like what, son?
Not being
here. Yo, not being no. Oh, my bad, son. I meant call you yesterday, son. I meant call you and tell you I probably went on. Cause I had started on a project yesterday, and I thought I was gonna be finished, but no, I'm still doing it, son. I'm still doing it.
What does that have to do with the morning show?
Cause it don't have nothing to do with it, but I'm all about I'm trying to do something for the community right now.
Yeah, I mean, community service is part, but you still have to come to work.
But I'm doing something for the children right now. It's for the children, Shady, and I know you love children, and I'm doing something for the children, children on the community right now. And I thought I was gonna be finished yesterday, but it took me too long.
What you doing?
hang Easter egg.
Wait.
Yo, cause we doing the Easter egg hunt in the hood.
What?
It's the hood Easter egg hunt, shawty. And I'm in charge of the hiding out the Easter egg, cause they said last year them children found them too fast, shawty.
So where you hiding them this year?
Boy, I'm talking about it ain't a whole lot of grass out here, so I got to be real creative.
Yeah.
It's like broke down cars out here. It's trash. It's a dumpster. It's a lot of places I'm hiding them, shawty, because them children found them too fast at the church last year. They just laid them in the grass. They just went out there and found them. They ain't gonna find them this year though.
So you
Believe
put
that,
something in the dumpster and some red cars.
Yeah, I got to put some in the dumpster. I got to put some in
between an alternator and a Vulture's regulator.
Yeah, exactly, shawty, exactly. Shawty, it's a dog. It's a dog out here that got hit about 2 weeks ago. He's still out here. They ain't scraped him up yet. I put the egg up on him. I put eggs everywhere.
Man, I don't know about that.
I don't know about that. I don't know they're gonna find that one though.
I don't know about this, man. Put Easter eggs up under the dead dog, bro. I don't know about that one.
There's a doggone shame.
Awful.
Yeah. Damn shame what they did to that dog.
But I promise I put that above.
He laughing.
No, I was coughing, so it's pollen in my throat.
Oh, bro, you laughing, bro. Yeah.
But that one up under the dog. I only put one up under the dog.
That's on to bring your ass to work. Stop lying. Come on, man.
Hold it. He's half man, half woman.
It's Gary. I wanna hip you to the T. It's Gary, baby.
Gary has the T and the color of the day. Gary.
Good morning, Ricky. Good morning to you. It's Monday, a beautiful day in the neighborhood, and here's what's happening in celebrity news, y'all. People are still going around complaining about why celebrities get to do all kind of crazy stuff and get away with it. They're getting wrecked and stuff, and they get to go home, and driving under the influence, they get to go home. They're still talking about it, and people in particular are talking about Tiger Woods. Now, they say Tiger was charged out with driving under the influence after another rollover car accident in Florida on Friday, and we were out there, and people were talking at Disney about it and stuff, about poor Tiger and stuff, because he was right there in Jupiter, Florida. But they're saying, y'all, Mr. Woods, honey, was involved in a 2-car crash around 2 p.m. in Jupiter Island. Now, they're saying, y'all, the driver of a pickup truck pulled a trailer, y'all, said he attempted to turn into a driveway when he saw a Range Rover baby speeding toward him. They're saying that the Range Rover was driven by Tiger Woods, swerved at the last minute, clipped the back end of the trailer, and rolled over on the driver's side. Now, they're saying neither driver was injured in the accident, but Woods crawled out of the passenger side door. Now, he spoke with the officers at the scene and explained that his golf-related injuries and surgeries on his back. Now, they say Woods blew a 0.00 on the breath analyzer test at the scene, but police said, honey, he did exemplify signs of impairment. He refused a urinalysis to determine whether he had drugs in his system. They said he was very lethargic on the scene, but that was, honey, what they believed. They said because of what he was intoxicated on. They're saying Martin County Sheriff John Bussick, the sheriff, clarified, y'all, that Woods was not impaired by alcohol, but rather some type of medication or drug. And this Tiger about 3 or 4 times, y'all, honey, flipping over in these cars. And some people saying, like Special K was mentioned, why don't he get a driver? But, I mean, all rich people don't have to have drivers, huh? Because if you get a driver, then they be going to say, oh, you all boosted, you can't drive, honey, and da-da-da-da-da and stuff. But, I mean, if he felt he could drive his Range Rover, because Range Rovers are supposed to be safe vehicles, which he did flip over, and he caught out on passenger side.
Yeah, just get an Uber Black if you going to drink.
Well,
Yeah.
he wasn't drinking. He's obviously on some kind of medication because he does have a lot of bad back problems.
Right.
And,
Well, that's why he really need to drive it in.
Right. So if you on medication, to your point, Rick, that's get your dog on Uber Black and keep it moving.
Yeah,
don't
'cause
drive.
I mean,
If you're on any kind of medication and it have an effect on your, that's not to drive.
yeah, you shouldn't be driving, honey. I mean, my Lord. And this is about his second or third time, so he should know by now that if he's on these medications or whatever, he can't drive. But nevertheless, somebody may be going to get rich soon because, honey, Tiger Woods hit him. All right, moving on in other celebrity news, y'all, and hopefully this is the final story, y'all, on Miss Tina and her gumbo, honey. Now, it's being reported, y'all, that the young lady, honey, when she thought she was doing the right thing, she called the health department on Miss Tina, honey, behind her gumbo. She said she is receiving threats from Beyonce's fans, y'all. Now, she put out a video said that, honey, she's receiving death threats from Beyonce's fans. She said she's afraid to leave the house and what have you and stuff because these people are threatening her life. She said she is not suicidal at all, but she's fearing for her life because she called, the health department. Which she should have never put her face on social media anyway, letting people know that she was the one who called. I would have never let nobody know it was me, but we're in a different day and time now. Everybody want to be seen and heard. So now, honey, the Beehive, honey, is threatening this girl's life, so we got to keep her lifted in prayer because we don't want her to get stung or nothing like that bad to happen to this young lady because she said she did get sick and she was throwing up, she said, and what have you. So we just got to go by what she said. And, the
Jesus,
health department...
be offense.
Be offense.
Okay.
The health department did go.
Why you want people to know that you called?
Thank you, because now you're scared.
They gonna come for you. And like,
They be doing it for the attention.
Yeah, exactly. So that's kind of what you get. Hate to say it, but you
poor thing, honey. Hopefully they send her some gumbo while she's staying in the house. Give that girl some gumbo while she's locked in. All right, then my quick for free story, y'all. This is very touching, and I'm sure a lot of people might like this. Amber Rose, y'all, they say this girl's still trending online, honey, for comments she made about race and politics during an appearance, y'all, on Nick Cannon's Big Drive series. Now, they're saying during the conversation, Rose argued, y'all, listen to this, that white people should be allowed to say the N-word in certain contexts. She said white people should be able to use the N-word. She said because when you really stop, honey, giving a mess about stupid, dumb butt stuff words, and we'll stop killing each other. Isn't it touching? Yeah, she said they could use, and she also continued, honey, by discussing, honey, the distinction between, honey, different use in the word. She said, if somebody says the hard R and is pointing at you, it's very different than rap lyrics are just saying that's my N-word. She said, honey, we're all smart enough to know what's right and wrong. So why are we creating so much damage and meaning behind it? And that was from Amber Rose. So let's keep her lifted in prayer as well. All right, the color today, honey, is one of my favorite colors. My color today, y'all, is acacia. On the high end, you say acacia, and on the low end, you say beautiful gold. That's a beautiful color because the streets are paved with gold, honey. Yes, ma'am.
Y'all give it up to Gary with the T.
Did you see that post?
People are talking.
Here's what's trending on the Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
All right, y'all, 22 minutes after the hour, y'all. Listen, over the weekend, a conversation started heating up after Federal Election Commission records revealed that Chilli from TLC donated money to Republican fundraisers linked to Trump in 2024 re-election and how fans on social media are split.
Chilli said she thought she was donating funds that would benefit military veterans and help end human trafficking. She said she did not read the fine print, but some people are saying artists should have the right to support whoever they want to support politically. Others are saying that when you're a public figure, those choices come with consequences, especially when fans feel strongly about certain issues.
Yeah, Brat, and artists like Nicki Minaj, Kanye West, Lil Wayne, Teddy Riley, and so many others have all reportedly shown support for Donald Trump. And it sparked an even bigger question this morning. Because entertainment is universal, but what about your morals? What about your politics? When artists get political, is it fair game for fans to pull their support, or is that just doing the most? Because we've seen this happen before. When celebrities speak out or donate politically, some fans double down in support, while others say they cannot separate the music from the message.
So we want to hear from you this morning. If your favorite artist support a politician you don't agree with, are you still listening to their music? Or are you done? Hit us up at 866-9-RICKEY, 866-9-RICKEY. Now, my whole thing is if I'm an artist, which I am, and a performer, if my fans cannot afford to come out and support me because of crazy politics or whatever, I'm just going to always be on the side of the majority of the people to make sure that everybody have money. Now, voting Democrat or whatever, I would have to, technically pay more taxes. But I'd rather pay more taxes than to make sure that somebody else have health care and somebody else can have, the seniors can have Meals on Wheels in order to, you know what I'm saying? I'm just not thinking about myself. So, I don't, and especially with MAGA, because that's different from being a Republican. That's just straight up Ku Klux Klan racism. And if you support MAGA, because MAGA is the Republican Party right now, that's just my opinion. What are your thoughts?
Well, like you just said, you're not a one-issue voter. So you're not just voting fiscally. You're voting, for people that not just people, probably not fans that come to your shows, but even your family members. You know what I mean? Everybody can't afford insurance. Everybody. I think as Black people, we have empathy because we all know somebody who is living paycheck to paycheck. Hey, most of us are living paycheck to paycheck, and usually Democratic issues, those usually support people. Government funding, but what's crazy is Republicans now they're spending so much money with the government. So what are we doing? We just get a political welfare. It's too much.
Special, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm real hard line when it comes to this whole MAGA Trump thing because it's so devastating to just the fabric of our community. That whole mindset and that whole political philosophy and all the things that are realistically being done right now to hurt people that I know. And, in my family, I cannot support anybody that supports that. Anybody that supports that, I can't go along with you.
Yeah, it's like you supporting the Klan. You know what I'm saying? When he has the ICE agents, which most of those guys are people from January 6th, and the Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers, you got them in the streets, untrained, attacking people in Democrat states or whatever. These are things that people like Dr. King Medgar Evers died for. A lot of people paid the ultimate price just so we could have freedom. And then it's like the Constitution is totally being ignored. And it's like, are you watching that? Have you ever sat down and watched Joy Reid's podcast and see what Joy Reid had to say and Jasmine Crockett or whatever? We got people out there giving us the information that we have. So there's no excuse not to know unless you just ignoring this stuff intentionally or whatever. But the information is there.
And as you have said a lot of times, people in a certain tax bracket try to use that as an excuse to say, well, I'm only supporting because of this. But like you said, a lot of times, all money ain't good money. And I'm not saying that I'm giving away nobody else's money. But what I'm saying is some things, principle has to override the bottom line. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't just support everything and say, oh, well, I'm looking at it from a business standpoint. I get that. But at some point, you got to have some principles.
Because your fans ain't going to be able to afford to be able to come see you perform.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When they have to pay more for health care or they can't afford health care or they got to choose between their medication and groceries and all that kind of stuff. And then, you wonder why your ticket sales are low. It's just, but it's all about doing the right thing. It's all about standing on principle. Go ahead.
Right. I feel like the artists that do support, they're doing it for some type of reason. And I do believe they do know the backlash that they're going to get, but they do it anyway for whatever reason is good for them or for their family. But you can't help but think about that when you listening to music. You think about them not being supportive of you and what you believe in and what you stand for. So, do you stop listening to their music? You try not to stop, probably, if you love the music for so many years. But then you can't help but think about them being on the other side.
Right.
Yeah, and Funky Dineva said it best. I was watching his video. He said, okay, we get all of that, but don't play in our face and act like, when you retweeted that, it's a couple of steps to retweet something. And then what you do, you have people going back looking at your record, and then they start pulling up receipts where you have sent money to MAGA and whatever, and I'm older than Chilli, and I ain't never sent MAGA a dime, never. You know what I'm saying? If I don't watch Fox News, I don't watch Newsmax, or any of that stuff. I watch Joy Reid's podcast, and I follow Jasmine Crockett. I follow, Ben Crump or whatever, and I follow Pastor Freddie Haynes or whatever. Anybody that's talking out of Dr. King's theology and Dr. King-like. That's just the way I was raised, and I can see, and conservatives have a right to be conservative, and just like George W. Bush said, he said, okay, being conservative is one thing, but he said, but being conservative can be without the racism and the things that Donald Trump has done. He has emboldened a lot of people out here. That's why you're seeing all these people out here getting their ass whooped, because they feel comfortable walking in the gas station, in the grocery store, calling people out of their name and using the N-word to harass or insult people, thinking that Trump gonna get them out of jail, and just the environment that's created, and that's why we have to get out and vote. Go ahead.
But then my thing is this though. But do we really know that was her track record with her supporting all these Republicans or whatever they said she supported?
Because she said she didn't know. She thought she was supporting the troops.
With all those things that all those people, all that list of things she was supporting the troops, she thought that. Because with AI coming out, I know people could easily duplicate stuff like that, number one. And number two, my thing is, what made them target her? All of a sudden, they just targeting her. How did that come out?
Well, she had a tweet when they had, she retweeted a picture of Barack Obama and had Michelle Obama as a man or looking like a man or whatever that was. And it was retweeted on her account. And when she got on there and explained it or whatever, that let the people know that she had some control over it. She said that she didn't know what button she hit. You have to hit something 2 or 3 times in order to retweet something. And then when people went back and looked at her donations towards conservative and anything that support the Trump administration, they saw money that she sent. It was just a few dollars, but you know what I'm saying?
But my thing is still this though. I mean, and everybody attacking her because of that and stuff. And like you just said about celebrities and stuff going to jail. Look at all these celebrities that went to jail. They want Trump to get them out of jail. Do they support Trump?
Well, I'm sure they do now.
Okay, well then, we don't. Well, we need to stop following them too, then, and not talking.
I'm sure people have.
That's what I'm saying. So many people do support, and they probably do it for whatever personal reasons they need it for. And how do you judge somebody if that's what they feel like they should do, even though we feel like it's wrong because what is they doing? We thinking, but they probably feel like for them or their family, they doing it for a reason, I guess.
But the best way to show somebody how you feel about them is just like we did with Target. I hate to say it because I love Chilli. And I know, I'm sure my friends are like, I'm still going. I'm like, because in Vogue, it's such a great concert. So, how do you show that you are against what they are for if you don't financially say, you know what, I can't go to the concert.
Because it was a lot of black celebrities that supported George Bush, and it wasn't a whole lot of backlash, but this different.
Yes.
This Donald Trump stuff is different. This different from Herbert Walker Bush and Ronald Reagan and George W. Bush and Dwight Eisenhower. This is different. This is different. This is the Grand Dragon. This is white supremacy, the Grand Dragon of the Ku Klux Klan, sitting in the White House, him and Steve Miller and the things that they are doing in this war and all of this stuff that's going on and how it's having a negative effect on people and how black people are under attack. Like we are under attack, man, almost to the point where a lot of people, I know for a fact, a lot of people are moving to Thailand and leaving the United States to get a dual citizenship to go somewhere else because they don't feel comfortable living in the United States. And if ICE can put on a mask, a Pooh Shiesty mask, and go out and just kidnap people without a warrant and without all of this stuff, and just ask random people, hey, I need to see your ID. Are you American or not? Whatever, they can pull you over. So if they can do it to them, you don't think they can do it to us? And that's crazy. And I feel bad for the Latino community, but it's a side of me that don't feel bad because hell, y'all sat up there and supported Trump or whatever, and some of the same people that supported him end up getting deported. But if they can do that to them, why can't they start targeting black people? Because they said that some of us look like Haitians, some of us look like Jamaicans and people that's from the Bahamas, so they can pull you over and say, hey, we think that you might be Haitian or whatever, let us see your ID. And if you don't have your ID on you, or if they don't believe you, they can take you into custody. And if they can do it, then that's different. That's different from anything that happened during the Bush administration and during the Reagan administration and the Herbert Walker Bush administration, man. Our civil liberties and civil rights are under attack. You know what I'm saying? They own 3 branches of government. They run in the White House, they run in the Congress, they run in the Senate, and they got the United States Supreme Court, and they are trying to find ways to mess up this midterm election because if Hakeem Jeffries becomes Speaker of the House, it's going to be a lot of investigations, and they control the purse. So they're scared right now, and they're going to do everything they can. That's why they're coming up with all these voter ID laws and all of this kind of stuff to make it difficult, and having ICE agents to show up at the polls to make it difficult for people to vote. And when you stand behind something like that, and you stand behind stuff like that, or whatever, people just going to automatically hate you, because people like myself that sit up and watch the news and listen to Joy Reid's podcast and have a clear understanding of how government works and what's going on in government, then it's a problem. All right, hit us up with your thoughts. 8669 Ricky, 8669 RICKEY. Rickey Smiley Morning Show. Rickey Smiley Morning Show. So the conversation is still heating up this morning after reports revealed that Chilli from TLC made a political donation connected to President Trump in the 2024 campaign, and fans are split debating whether an artist's personal beliefs should impact the way they support them. Now, some fans are saying, look, artists are human beings with their own opinions and political views just like anyone else. Supporting a candidate does not necessarily change the music they have already created.
Yeah, Ricky, but others think differently. They say when you support an artist, you are also supporting their platform. And if those views don't align with yours, then it's okay to just step back.
I mean, my thing is, if you go in a restaurant and somebody call you the N-word or show racism towards you, you always say you're not going back to that restaurant anymore. You know what I'm saying? So what's the difference? I'm just asking. So now the bigger question becomes, can you separate the artist from the art? Are you hitting the unfollow button? Beyonce, you have those donations?
Yeah,
Yeah.
So according to Yahoo News, she made 17 donations between April 2024 and November 2024 with a total of 900. So it averages around $50 per donation. We don't know if those are the actual numbers, but that's what Yahoo is reporting.
And all of those donations was towards the Trump administration.
Yeah. So Ted Cruz, the Trump administration.
Ted Cruz.
What people don't realize is that with any kind of political politician, anything that you donate is open records, and so people went and pulled the records because the FCC holds those.
Girl, how dare you support Ted Cruz? What are we doing?
Well, my thing is, if she has an argument, as to why she support MAGA, then have the argument and have the conversation, because we have to respect how she feel, or whatever, even though you don't agree with it. That's the whole purpose of having a conversation and having the, whatever amendment it is, freedom of speech and freedom to support who you want to support. However, if you support them, maybe you should be performing for them.
Thank you.
At the MAGA events and the Trump, what do you call it? Inauguration parties and whatever, man. I just don't understand.
What you support. I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. What you support and who you support speaks to your character, and it speaks to your integrity,
your morals,
and it speaks to your morals. And if you support people or a movement that is hostile toward everybody that looks like you and everybody in your community,
hostile towards the majority of your fans. Go ahead.
Right. How can you justify that? That goes beyond just freedom of supporting whoever. Yeah, you got freedom. But like you said, you got to have morals and integrity. You got to have some integrity at some point.
I was raised in a small church in Alabama, and my pastor, the man that baptized me, was actually friends with Dr. King. I remember being in the pastor study and seeing Reverend Gardner with Dr. King. And back then, when you joined the church, you had to join the NAACP and the SCLC, back then. And this man preached every Sunday, but it was from the same theology from Dr. King. And then when I moved to Dallas, Texas, I needed to find a pastor. I'm not looking for prosperity preaching. I'm looking for how I can get to heaven, and somebody that could help me have a close relationship with God, but also recognizing the world that we live in, because no matter prosperity ain't gonna do nothing for your experience when you go out here dealing with racism and racist. You know what I'm saying? And I just hold on, y'all. We got Roland Martin on the phone. Hey, Roland, good morning.
Yep. Good morning, Ricky.
Hey, Roland, thank you for jumping on at the last minute. Listen, we're talking about Chilli and her donation. And what's the question again, Alfred?
Well, it's like, can you still support the art without supporting the artist who supports a candidate, or a movement that you're not with?
Hold that thought, Roland. I want you to answer that on the other side. More Rickey Smiley Morning Show coming up. All right, y'all, Rickey Smiley Morning Show. Hey, we got the one and only Roland Martin on with us this morning, man. Thank you so much for jumping on with us at the last minute. Alfredas, you had asked a question.
Yeah, we're talking about Chilli and us finding out that she actually is conservative in her views, maybe even a MAGA supporter. Is this the new council culture, and is it actually holding people accountable, or are we just really quick to cut people off now?
Well, first of all, it's not new. I remember during Trump's first term, I remember I was I was reading some stuff, and Phil Perry, big time MAGA. And he blocked me because I was disagreeing with some stuff that he said. Same thing with golfer John Daly. Look, you are the consumer. You have the right to not support someone if you don't want to. And that's why there are a lot of artists who keep their politics personal. That's their choice. But you have the right as well. So you're not obligated to support anyone. Now, if you say, hey, you know what, I like your music or I like your art, so therefore I'm going to keep backing you, so be it. But we live in a time where we have to understand that Donald Trump and MAGA, decisions that they make have consequences, have life and death consequences, impact the lives of people. And so individuals have to understand that. And so guess what? That is the cross that you have to bear if those things become public.
Wow. Roland, how do you feel, just to skip around a little bit, about what's going on with this administration with the Iran war and everything that's going on, and his low approval rating, the lowest that I have ever seen since I've been following politics? What are your thoughts? Is there a shift or a movement in the country? Are we looking good for midterms? Will the midterm election be messed with?
Look, I think it's abundantly clear what you're seeing, that people do not like the direction this country is going and the decisions that are being made. There's buyer's remorse from a lot of people. But for a lot of black folks, we saying hashtag, we tried to tell you. In terms of what we said was going to happen, predicted. I mean, you've got white farmers who are crying left and right because of the tariffs. They're saying, "Oh my God, I can't move forward." Dairy farmers and others are like, "Well, I need workers," and y'all are attacking, undocumented workers. It's like, well, he told you he was going to do that, but y'all kept voting for him. And so these things are happening. Politics. Listen, there are consequences to politics, good and bad, and so folks are dealing with that. And so what we have to recognize is that the best say that any person has is when they go to the ballot box. And so when you check out elections, then you're going to suffer the consequences. For all those people, there was some artist the other day who was, went on some show. He was trashing, calmly like, well, I did my research, but I'm kind of like some dude Sway or something, some dumb dude. But guess what? We try to tell them as well. So when people sit here and say these things, like I was watching Stephen A. was dating some dude, Anton or something, and he was like, well, Trump did this and did that for HBCUs. Lie. And my whole deal is facts are facts. So I'm not going to debate your opinion. I'm not going to debate your emotions or your feeling. I'm going to debate what the reality is. And the reality is what Donald Trump is doing right now when it comes to Iran, there are going to be consequences. And it's not like other presidents never considered that, but they also considered that there are dominoes that fall when you make the decision that you make. And we are going to have to deal with this. And so we will solve it in Iraq. We'll solve it in Afghanistan. We've seen this with so many issues when before our foreign policy, when we overthrew countries and we took out leaders, whether it was Patrice Lumumba, whether it was Mossadegh in Iran in 1953, and on and on and on. And so this is the impact of when you're the commander-in-chief and you make decisions like this here. They have far-reaching consequences that don't last days or months or election cycles. They literally can last generations or multiple generations.
Yeah, I don't know if we have time for this question, but Trump is saying we're not putting boots on the ground. We don't have to put boots on the ground. We already have 50,000 people there now. Is it possible that we are going to put boots on the ground?
I think he is. You don't move thousands of personnel. Iran is not backing down. What do they have left to do? I mean, you've already made it clear that you'll take over somebody's country. And again, look at American foreign policy in our history. We said the same thing in Vietnam. What did? We sent in advisors. The next thing you know, we had 50,000 who died in that country. And so we've seen this movie before. This is the sequel. And so what we have to recognize is that, guess what? Other countries are not just going to let us just come in and take over. He thinks that he can do to Iran what he did to Venezuela. No, totally different country, totally different leadership, and we're going to suffer the consequences, and it will be American blood spill for exactly what?
Yeah. All right, Roland, let everybody know, man, thank you, man. We appreciate you always jumping on with us. Let everybody know how you can be reached.
Folks, Roland Martin Unfiltered live every night, 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern. Go to our YouTube channel, our Black Star Network app. Of course, watch our other 5 shows on the network as well. So we bring the truth, the black-centered truth, every single day.
There it is, y'all. Roland Martin, man. Love you, man. We appreciate you. Mix up, stay in your head.
News headlines. Entertainment. Sports. It's the front page on the Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
All right, Rickey Smiley Morning Show, 25 after the hour. Y'all got your front page right here. Alfreda's, good morning.
Good morning, Ricky. It's Monday, March 30th. Here's what's going on in the news. As the war in Iran hits week 5, President Trump says he may want control of Iran's oil. Trump says taking the oil would be his, quote, preference, but that stupid people in the U.S., that's his quote, are questioning why he'd do that. Speaking of stupid, Ricky, a reporter was asking a very serious question, and Trump basically tried to run the block live on TV.
Do you have any insight as to how they are doing? Do they have drinking water? Do they have food?
Right, I do.
It's upsetting.
I do. But first, you remember when we had lunch years ago in the base of Trump Tower when it was a brand new building?
It was a long time ago, yes.
A long time ago, and you haven't changed.
Oh.
You have not changed. Now, I'm not allowed to say this. It's the end of my political career, but you may be even better looking, okay? So I don't know what you're doing. But I will not say that.
Makeup has a lot to do with that.
Speaking of questionable moments, Trump said the quiet part out loud.
It's a good thing to have a lot of losers. I always like to hang around with losers, actually, because it makes me feel better. I hate guys that are very, very successful, and you have to listen to their success stories. I like people that like to listen to my success.
Yeah. Trump was really on a roll, guys. Listen to what else your 80-year-old president said.
You can ask me anything you want. You can talk sex. You can do whatever the hell you want.
Unless, of course, it involves Jeffrey Epstein.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Imagine if President Obama did any one of those. He got dragged for wearing a tan suit.
This
the same color tan suit that Ronald Reagan wore. Man,
this man literally flirted with a reporter who was asking about the people in Iran and how they're doing, how they're living right now. Then he said he likes to hang out with losers, and then said you can ask him about sex when we know that his name is all over the Epstein files. Is he like?
You don't want to talk about that.
Yeah. So he went on to
call. A few questions I'd like to ask.
I don't know why a reporter didn't ask, but then he went on to call the Strait of Hormuz the Strait of Trump and doubled down, saying he meant what he said. In other news, real quick, a federal judge in Kentucky just dropped charges against 2 former officers connected to the raid that led to Breonna Taylor's death. The Justice Department said it was in the, quote, interest of justice to dismiss that case. Taylor was killed back in 2020 during a no-knock warrant at her apartment. Some of the other officers involved have already been sentenced. One has done time while another is still awaiting. For info on these stories and more, go to RickySmileyMorningShow.com. Now, here's a look at sports.
Rock T, the sports genius, is in the building.
Ladies and gentlemen, yes it is that time. March Madness. Madness is pretty maddening right now. Number 2 seed UConn on the men's side stunned number 1 Duke behind a Braylon Mullins miracle last-second three-point shot to clinch their ticket to the Final Four. It's going to be UConn, Illinois, Arizona, and Michigan on the men's side. Yeah, man.
Man, I saw that shot yesterday, man. I was like, money.
Come on, dog.
All you had to do, man, was keep the ball in bounds, bruh. Man, come on. Y'all had the game.
He panicked, man. He panicked. On the women's side, 2 more Elite 8 games going down tonight. South Carolina versus TCU, then Texas versus Michigan. Whoever wins these 2 games tonight will punch their ticket to the Final Four. Now, Stephen A. Smith, Jason Whitlock beef has gotten to the flat-out hate for one another. Cam Newton had a little beef with Jason Whitlock, and he invited Jason Whitlock on his podcast, and which was actually a good conversation, an example of being able to agree to disagree on things, but still have a mature conversation. Well, Jason continued to bash Stephen A. Stephen responded, and then Jason responded again. Here's a little what's going on.
Most importantly, for the purposes of this conversation, Jason Whitlock, you don't have a career that compares to mine. I reserve it especially for your evil, despicable, trifling ass. It's the jealousy. You can't take the fact that I'm better than you. You can't take the fact that I'm more successful than you. You can't take the fact that John Skipper handed you the reins to a website supposedly positioning you to be the black Bill Simmons, and you couldn't hold your own weight. You couldn't even get black people to work for you.
No one likes Jason. Go ask Bobby and Kimberly. Go ask his second grade teachers. That's what he did, and called me a bunch of names. I've seen little children, emasculated men, and women behave the way that Stephen A. Smith behaved last night. Name calling, cursing, or we're reaching rock bottom.
It's time for these 2 gentlemen to sit down and have a conversation.
Wow.
That's just my opinion. It's time for these 2 gentlemen just to sit down and have a mature conversation. That's my support. That's what it is, man. All right, man. Y'all follow me on social media at Rock T Holla. Brat got the hot spot right now.
The hot spot.
Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot.
So hot and that's hot. You can catch me at the hot spot. It's the BR18.
All right, y'all, it is about that time for the hot spot. What up, Brat?
What up, Ricky? Good morning, everybody. I'm your girl, Brat Tat Tat, and this is the hot spot, but we bring you music, movies, and more. So let's get off into it. Well, y'all, the versus battle went down last week. It was Tank versus Tyrese, and while official total viewership numbers have not been released yet, the activity on social media say that the numbers were big, and it was a big turnout in the battle that was positioned as an R&B showdown for the ladies. And the battle was full of some good music, y'all, and some good surprise guests as well. And in case you missed it, here's a quick recap.
We can talk about you being mine, baby. Would you be mine? Beautiful. Would you be my baby? I don't want nothing if I can't have it all. If I gotta beg for it on my knees and crawl, 'cause I gotta have you. Every time I go, yeah, everything gon' be alright. Every time I leave, every time I try to leave. Suicide doors are closed. Talk to him, Toya. Gucci rags, Louis travel bags. You lost the best you had, baby, don't look so bad. Why? 'Cause you must regret the day that you.
Yes, and it was full of humor and personality, y'all. It was real good. For instance, as Tyrese went to start one of his big hits, the music cut off, and then this is how Tank responded.
Hey, Tank, how you gonna act like that, bro? How you gonna act like that? How your band gonna act like that? How your playback gonna act like that? How your jacket gonna act like that? You took off that turtleneck because that turtleneck was acting like that. That's all right.
Man.
So try it again. Give me a couple more. Try to act Listen, like that. this One is more time. you're an opener, so keep opening. No, sir.
Ooh.
Please, we all need a Never, comedian. ever. We all need a comedian before the main act come out.
Oh, damn. Now, that's funny. That's funny.
Yeah, it was good. They kept it good. It was a good show to watch for real.
Love it, man. Very entertaining and from 2 great talents, and I'm glad that they did that, keeping music hot and fun and funny, and we absolutely enjoyed it.
Yes, absolutely. Well, last but not least, y'all, Black Panther 3 is coming, but the release date has been pushed back a bit. The movie is now expected to debut in late 2028. Ryan Coogler is set to direct the third installment, of course, and the additional time may provide space to further develop the next chapter, which follows a story that has already undergone a big evolution with the passing of Chadwick Boseman. Now, the storyline heading into the third film remains undisclosed, so we don't know what's going to happen, but we do know that Shuri stepped into the role of Black Panther, and T'Challa's son has introduced pointing towards future possibilities for Wakanda's leadership. So I can't wait to see that. All right, y'all, we're going to wrap up the hotspot on that note. But for more information on these stories and more, you can go to RickySmileyMorningShow.com, and you can catch me on all my social media at Brat. Coming up next, we got Dwight Stone with the Praise Mixdown. That's next on the Rickey Smiley Morning Show.